Hi fam, welcome back to Further Internet. I am Keeyaria, and today we're going to do our last video in our Bible Study 101 series talking about consistency. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So I want to start off by saying that I am not the most consistent person ever. I unfortunately do not read every single day like I hope that I would, but I am more consistent now than I have been within the past 3 years of me really deep diving into the Bible. And so I just want to talk to you guys about the two things that has helped me out a lot when it comes to being consistent with my Bible study time or my quiet time, however you say it. So the first thing that I had to learn was that it does not have to be the same place and time. For me, when I first started reading, I actually started reading with a friend, and I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. I had accountability. I had someone there for me, really just rooting me on. And also, what we would do is we would meet once a week or once every other week during the summer, since we both didn't have school, and we would just talk about the things that we were reading in our own quiet time. And it was so fun, so amazing. We had little picnics at our local park, and we would bring food. Sometimes we might buy food or bring food from home, but it was so fun. But with me starting out doing that at the beginning, once that ended, I didn't know what to do. I honestly, if I'm honest, I would still go to the park because I absolutely loved it. And sometimes, even if it was raining or if I had a little bit of time, I would just drive to the park and just sit in the parking lot. That's just the place that I knew that I could encounter the Lord. Really the first place I've ever encountered him when it comes to the word. So deeply, rather. But I don't have to only go to the park to encounter him. And it took me some time to realize that. I would start doing it at home. Sometimes I'll start going to a coffee shop. And now I realize it doesn't matter what time it is or where I am, I can still encounter him. And that was a really big thing that I had to learn. And now I don't care where I am. I can be in my car. I can be at school, in the library. I can be in a coffee shop. I can be anywhere now, and it doesn't bother me. And the time doesn't bother me either. At first, I would always do it in the mornings because that's all I heard. You have to do in the morning, But it doesn't always work out to be in the morning. So as of late, I have done it a lot in the afternoon and sometimes even at night, which I'm not going to say I prefer that because I am a morning person, which means that I want to go to bed at night. I'm not my 100% self when I do my Bible studies at night, but I'd rather do a little bit at night versus me not do it at all just because of the time and the time of day. I'd rather not do that. So it does not have to be the same place, same time. It could be anywhere. It's like you don't have to only encounter God on Sundays at church. You can encounter him anywhere. That's just, honestly, the park was the first place that I really built my first altar. Essentially. If you know what I'm talking about, I will try to leave different verses down below. Please make sure that you're reading down below. I leave different verses or different articles that I find. I haven't been doing them lately because I don't think anyone's really reading them, but I do want you to read on what I mean by that's the first place I built an altar. It's in the Old Testament. It's so interesting. So definitely look down below to read on to that. So the second thing is that it does not have to be a certain amount of time. That one took me some time because I thought that my 15 or 20 minutes devotional reading and reading the Bible verses it tells me to read and then reading the prayer afterwards and then me saying a short little prayer was nothing. When it was something. It helped me get to where I am today. And I will forever be grateful. I will forever be thankful for those devotionals. I handed off the one that I was reading because I didn't want to keep it. I knew I wouldn't read again. But I ordered just one off Amazon. I read the reviews. I heard the comments said that it was really good, and I was like, okay, I'll order it. I ordered it. Same time I ordered those pens and highlighters, if you know what I'm talking about, in the last video. And I did it every single day. I just went day by day, day 1, day 2, day 3, because I didn't know where to start. So the devotional really helped me out. And even though at times I felt like I wasn't doing enough, I was doing just enough. I really was. And I really wanted to get to where I was today then. I was like, I want to go deeper. I want to be reading my Bible more. I want to be understanding more. I just wanted to speed up the process. Like, that's all I want to do. I just wanted to speed up the process. But what I didn't know was if I tried, and I did, I tried to be more advanced than I really was. And a lot of things went over my head. My friends and I have been talking about this a lot, how we go back to some of our old Bibles, like my old Bible right here. My old faithful Bible. Is it going to show? Yeah. So going back to this and looking at the notes, y'all, it's so crazy because they were so surface level. I mean, still good, don't get me wrong, but they were very much so like surface level compared to what I'm seeing and what I'm understanding now. And I just basically had to understand that it's a process. It's a process. So if you're doing 10 minutes, you're doing good. But of course, add a little bit more time on it as you go. Naturally, it will happen. That's what happened to me. It naturally happened. I naturally was, where was I? I think it was when I was in Acts. I read John, which I love John. And then I went to Acts because it was the next chapter. I said, okay, I don't know where to go, so I'm just going to go to the next one. And oh my goodness, Acts sucked me in, and I just wanted to read more and more and more, and that's exactly what happened. I read more and more and more, and I was like, okay, where do I go next? I don't know what to do next. Okay, and I just kind of learned on my own, and it got to a point where I stopped using devotionals. Now, a lot of people still use devotionals, and I have some, but I have found lately that that's just not something that I gravitate towards. I love Bible plans, though. Depending on if I'm looking at a certain topic, I do love Bible plans, but devotionals, for some reason, I don't gravitate towards anymore, which is perfectly fine. And a lot of people benefit from it. A lot of people benefit from it. And that's the thing. The more that you do it, the more you'll understand what you love and what you have a preference for. I just don't have a preference for devotionals anymore. I have a preference for Bible plans. Other people might not care for Bible plans. They just want a devotional. And it doesn't matter. My way is not better than their way or your way, and vice versa. Because guess what? Our relationship with the Lord is personal, and our Bible study, Bible time will be personal to us. However, we like to do it. Like I said in the last video, as long as we are in communion with the Lord, that's all that matters. Everything else is materialistic. You know, it really is. Whenever we really think about it, because we don't have to have the pens or the highlighters. We don't have to have the devotionals. It's a tool. It really is a tool, and we need to think about it as a tool and not like hyperfixate on I have to do this, I have to do that, because at the end of the day, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Honestly, you don't have to read the Bible if you don't want to. It's a choice. It's a choice. And that's, I don't think I wrote that down, but that's another thing. It's not something that you just check off of a list. Whenever you feel like it's something you check off on your to-do list, that's whenever you're going to start resenting. And that's not the point of this. It's not supposed to be boring or annoying or, oh, I have to do this. No, you don't have to do it. You don't. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, you have the free will to read it or not to read it. You have the free will to be a Christian or not to be a Christian. But if you are going to be a Christian, I suggest you to take all the benefits. And my favorite analogy is that I'm not going to go to a buffet, which I don't like buffets. But anyway, I'm not going to go to a buffet and only get one fry. No. I'm going back for appetizer, entree, possibly 2 entrees, a dessert, trying to take something home. I'm going to take everything that I possibly can to make my money stretch. And that's exactly what we should be doing. We as Christians should take benefit of everything that we have. The Bible is one of the best resources that we have as a Christian. So why are we not going to try to take all of its benefits? You tell me. You tell me. I do want to get into a couple of tips that will help you become more consistent. Like I said, it takes a lot of time, but these are just a couple of things that's helped me. I do recommend you to try out different times of day and locations. I know I said that it doesn't have to be the same place every single day, but as one who loves consistency, and most people do, try to figure out what type of day that you like and try to aim for it. Try to aim for it. I said aim and not it has to be there. That's just a place that we're going to try to go. So like my park example, like I used to years ago, even though I would love to go to the park, I might aim to go to the park, but if it doesn't happen, then it's okay because I can do it somewhere else. That's what I mean by that. And in certain times a day, even though, well, most of the time I always hear you have to do it in the morning, you have to do it in the morning. I don't always have time in the morning, but like I said, I don't want to come into it and say, oh, it's 1 o'clock now. It's past morning time. I can't read anymore because it's not the morning. No, we don't want to do that. So I suggest you to try different times. Maybe you are a night person. You thrive at night. Do it at night. Maybe you thrive in the morning. Do it in the morning and you have time to do it in the morning. I know for me personally right now, I absolutely love doing it in the afternoon. It's been really pretty outside. It's been sunny, minus the pollen, because his pollen's taking us out, okay? But it's been so nice outside. And so I've been loving to do it in the afternoon time. And I just take my Bible outside, me and my dog, and we chill. We chill and read and pray and all the things. And I absolutely love it. So I do recommend trying things out, trying different locations, trying different times, and aiming for it. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to be there to do your Bible study, but of course it's always nice to be consistent. So I do try to do that as much as I possibly can. But let's say that I'm not here. Like let's say I'm somewhere else or I'm on vacation. It's not that I want to stop. Right, I'm still going to bring it with me, and that's all I'm saying. Still bring it with you, wherever time that might be, wherever location that might be. If it's in the car, do it in the car. Hey, you have a lot of personal time in the car. Pray while you're driving, and then when you stop, read. Boom, there you go. And the last thing is to try out different ways until you find what you like, and that kind of goes back to what I said before. Try out devotionals. Different devotionals. There's so many of them. If I can, I think that my first one was on Amazon, so I might can leave the link to the one that I use. I did love it. Granted, it was more towards mothers. I didn't realize that at first. I still read it, and I still actually enjoyed it. So I can leave that one link down below. I'll plans different Bible translations. I've talked about that before. Journaling and before or after, or even journaling at all. There's just so many different ways. There's so many different things that you can do, and it's just depends on how you piece that puzzle together for yourself. And I know I feel like I'm so repetitive and I say it over and over again, but it's the truth. The more you do it, the more you realize what you like. That's just the bottom line. No, I'm happy it's not different because it needs to happen. Like I said before, we're not trying to rush into things. We want to take our time and let things gradually happen. And just watch. Like, just wait and watch. Looking back on how I was 3 years ago, it's just crazy to think about where I am right now. Like, Jesus, you changed everything. Seriously. You really do. But all right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Very short and to the point. I hope you've been enjoying this series. I love putting it together. Let me know if you have any other ones you'd like me to do. I have a couple of things in mind, but obviously I want to gear towards whatever you guys want and need. So I hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you're watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.